and the great Stephen Vogt is with us. It's always like one of our old friends has been here.
Yeah, there's quite a few of us former A's. I guess I'm a current A now, but
yeah, you're back.
I'm back. But there's a lot of former A's rolling around the big leagues, and it's kind of just the way it's always been. It's nice. It's nice to see familiar faces every series here at the Coliseum. It's always fun to catch up with old teammates.
Well, as you are a current A right now and swinging it lately, it's been a lot of fun to watch. We're already thinking about you in the future. You may not know this, but that when you're in the A's family, A's Cast, we're taking care of the family. That's our job. We're always building the brand and helping the brand. So while you were away in our nation's capital, we're already starting to help build a staff for you when you become a manager. You may not know that. Your former teammate, do we have it ready? Sean Doolittle, we have ready for you to be your pitching coach in the future. Here's Do.
Shoot, man, if Vogt is going to manage, I will drop whatever I'm doing. If he ever wants a pitching coach or a bullpen coach or some kind of assistant, I would do whatever he asked if he was calling.
So I know you're busy getting ready for all these other teams. I'm out here on A's Cast Live helping build your next staff.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, I'd love to work with Sean again. It was great seeing him in DC, and obviously, you hear comments like that from former teammates. That means the world. That means everything, right? That means, but what a great person he is. What a great, he was such a great pitcher he's got a position player background, just a wealth of knowledge that he's got. But whether it be pitching coach, bullpen coach, shoot, maybe even hitting coach. I remember hearing how good a hitter he was before all of his injury problems. So obviously I've played with so many tremendous people and players in this organization and around baseball, but Sean Doolittle and I were seatmates on the plane for probably 3.5 seasons with the A's. And so we got very close, and one of my good friends in the game.
Yeah. We always joke with him, like, when I had a show on a different radio station, I was like, man, I always talked about you as the future first baseman. I mean, you showed up like a Disney story out of nowhere. He's pitching, and in less than no time, you're in the All-Star game. It was absolutely unbelievable. But, I want to talk about you as, everybody's going to remember you as All-Star catcher. Now we're talking about you as almost like a Gold Glove first baseman out there. What's going on at 1B?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I don't get over there too often and get super exposed. But, no, it's been fun. It's been one of those things that, obviously I love catching, and that's always been my first love positionally. But with Shea up here now, I got to find my way into the lineup, and it's actually presented a few more at-bats for me than I thought I would get. And, I put in good work over there every day with Eric Martins and Mike Aldretti helping me with some first base work and footwork. And, I played there quite a bit in 14 with the foot injury for the wild card run, and I played there a little bit in 15 as well. So it's not completely foreign. It's just been quite a few years since I've been over there consistently, but it's fun getting over there and getting an opportunity to make some plays.
Well, that's what we talk about with catchers. If you're going to put a catcher third base or first base, I mean, your whole life you've been taking balls off your chest. I mean, you just got to keep the ball in front of you and get the guy at first base, and you can do that, whether that's obviously a third, at first base, keep it in front of you, ditch it to the pitcher. I mean, keep it in front of you.
Hey, absolutely. We go through, as baseball players, and especially in the infield, you have to go through every scenario before every pitch. So if it's hit to my left, this is what I'm going to do. Hit to my right, this is what I'm going to do. If it's a slow roller, you kind of go through all those processes before every single pitch. And one of the ones that I do for me is like, all right, there's a runner on second with 2 outs. If it's a hard hit ball right at you, just drop down to both knees and block it like a catcher. Like, let's go. I have these visions of like wearing it off the chest and keep it in front, but that's your job. And that's why the beauty of, you're right, as a catcher, you just go out there and say, hey, knock the ball down, pick it up and get it to the right spot.
I think about as a catcher and trying to work with these young pitchers, I think all of the technology that's around them and teaching them, we see more cameras than ever before, and they've got a lot of stuff that's going on and what front offices would like them to work on and everything, and that's great. I equate it to golf. It's great that you can look at all these numbers on in the driving range and how far you hit it and your spin rate and how you get but at some point you got to go out and play the course. And now the course has trees and sand and water. You got to chip and putt. You got to do a lot of things other than hit it hard. For me, when I look at baseball, it's great everything you do down there, but somehow you got to get outs over here. What is that like as an older catcher working with these younger guys? So much technology thrown at them, and it's like, technology's great, but we've got to get outs out here on the field.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's pitching is so far ahead of hitting right now because you have the ball in your possession and there's the tools, there's the TrackMan, the high-speed cameras where they can see their most effective breaking ball and they can slow it down on the camera to see exactly how their release point was, where it was, and they can go try to repeat that pitch. And that's our job as catchers, right? We got and Emo, the pitching coach as well, is how do we get what we learn from the data and what we work on the side, how do we go out and execute, excuse me, because you're right, at the end of the day, that data is not going to help you when you're 60 feet inches away from the best hitters in the world, or 60 feet, 6 inches. So for me, it's, hey, I don't know what you're trying to do or what, but this is what that one looked like. That's the one you want to throw. That's the one right there. And go compete. I think that's been the number one thing I've really tried to help these pitchers with, and Murph does a great job of it too, and Shea, is we have got to compete on the mound. Go after people. You know, I think that's one of the biggest problems with our game right now is we do not throw enough strikes. We are getting constantly into 2-0 and 3-1 counts. And guess what? When you have to throw a pitch over the heart of the plate in a 2-0 and 3-1 count, major league hitters are going to do damage on that. So to me, it's about that execution and attacking the strike zone. Pitchers have such nasty stuff. They're throwing so hard now. You can get people out in the zone more now than you ever could in baseball. But the problem is that we're not executing enough strikes on the mound as a whole, as an industry as a whole. And that's where we're getting into the trouble. That's why the home runs have been up. That's why doubles are up. But that's also why punch outs are up, because they're throwing nastier stuff. So if pitchers want to go longer into games, if they want to stick around, they got to throw fewer pitches, which means you have to attack the strike zone and get weak contact. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of trend in the other direction back towards that. But you're right. Have all the technology in the world. Know what your spin does. Know what you want to do. But at the end of the day, if you can't do that at 7 o'clock, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. 4:30 doesn't matter. It's 7
no.
o'clock. I want you to put your manager's hat on. You've got two young catchers. One guy is entering his prime. The young guy is about to enter his prime. It's my belief I never want young guys DHing. I want young guys to be in the game. I want them playing defense. We've had Shea on the program. I've said, hey, at Baylor, whatever, can you play other positions? He said yes. What would you do with this dynamic next year when they potentially could be the two best offensive players we have? I need them both to play and not DHing all the time.
Well, I'm glad it's not going to be my job to make that decision.
That's a tough one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, I haven't been around long enough to know where the development goes or what it is. I know DHing is hard. I know that because I've done it, especially when you're a catcher, when you're used to being locked every single pitch. But at the end of the day, having two of the best catchers in baseball is going to be a great problem for the Oakland A's to have next year. Obviously Sean Murphy is one of the best catchers offensively and defensively in our game, and Shea's right there behind him. He's an up and comer. He's going to be a great player, and so I love watching him develop and doing what he's doing. And yeah, it's hard right now, but what's really important and the focus for him right now is focus on your ABs the days it's time for you to focus on your ABs. Yes, is it easy? No one's expecting it to be easy, but really dive into your offense, because that's one side of the game that you're not going to have as much time to work on when you're catching every day one time later in your career. When you're catching every day, you don't have the time to put into your offense like he does right now. You can't take that many swings because you got to be ready to catch every single day, and the wear and tear over the course of a full season, you have to back off. So right now, it's putting that focus on there. And like you said, to have both those guys, if you could slate one at DH and one at catcher every day, you're gonna like that middle of the order moving forward.
We appreciate the time. We know it's hot, so just one more. I think about this latest road trip, your wife, your family, how special that is. I think of the Braves just being in town and the World Series ring and everything that's happening here. What has the last couple of weeks been like for you with family and just what you did with the Braves? Just what's it been like?
Yeah, it's been amazing. We had a great summer as a Vogt family, and my wife, Alyssa, is so great. She's willing to travel with 3 kiddos all over the place. And so we've always made a priority to be together as a family, and thankfully we've been able to do that. And to have the kids now be older, Peyton's 10, Clark's 7, and Bennett's 5, they're going to remember this.
Yeah.
And they're going to remember Dad as an A. And that was one of the really important things for us to going into this year. I had some other offers, but none of them felt right. And when David called and said that there was interest right away, we both knew this is where we wanted to be. We wanted our kids to come back to Oakland and experience it. And now they're going to have memories of dad playing in the Coliseum. And, they were so young when I was here before. And, Bennett was just a brand new baby when I left. But to have them experience that, and we had a great summer, and to end on that road trip, and, to win that last game in Baltimore with them there, and to hit the double, and just to have them, they're such big A's fans. My kids, they know everybody. When we win, the boys come in the clubhouse, and they go around telling everybody good game and giving them knucks. And this is what our family does. Our family is a baseball family. It's what we do. We travel, and they've just been a tremendous support. And so to have them taking off for school on Sunday, I miss them like crazy. It gets harder every year as your kids get older to say goodbye and to go separate ways. And Alyssa and I remember about 12 years ago in the minor leagues, we were getting ready to start our family, and we were praying and said, it'd be awesome if one day we had to make tough decisions on what to do with the kids in school. And here we are. And so we kind of, whenever it gets tough, we kind of talk and we say, hey, this is what we asked for. We asked for the tough decisions because that means we're still doing it. And so I'm really proud of that. And so to have them leave was a tough day, but then to come in and to see the Braves, and, I was only there for 3 months, but when you win a World Series like that, you have a bond that's so strong. It's family. And those are some of my favorite people that I've ever worked with. And as soon as we see each other, we light up because the memories come right back. Right. It's, they've been living it and they've been celebrating all year. But for me, it's like, I see those guys and automatically I'm right back there in October, going through scouting reports, going through meetings, high five, and, just all the emotions of the playoff run. And, just brought so much joy and such a smile to my face to be with those guys and to see them. And, it was great to see all those guys. The clubbies were there, the trainers, because it's a family. And so, so it's been such a great couple weeks for me, and I'm really looking forward to these last 3-4 weeks of the season and finish this season out strong and really just continue to do what I've been doing and helping these young guys develop into Major League Baseball players.
Well, whether it's this season, a lot of guys play around Major League Baseball throughout the years, but not so many guys are etched in the fabric and the history of an organization. You really have become, you've had your own chant, you've won a playoff game. You think about the playoff games, you think about your time with the A's. I mean, you really are a big part of this organization. It is true. And I know you're not going to leave it. You're going to be around it. But at some point, you're going to be able to sit back and be like, wow, what a major part you are of a organization that's been around for well over 100 years.
I mean, I thank you for that. It means the world. This place is always going to be home, whether I'm wearing this uniform or a different one, just like I have the last 5 years, right? When I was gone. And no matter what uniform I ever put on, the Oakland A's is always going to be my home. I'm always going to be an Oakland A at heart. I'm always going to have a special place whenever I come to the Coliseum. And the fans here have been nothing but great to my family and myself. And I couldn't be more proud to be an Oakland A and to have gotten to experience playoff wins in this building. I know what it sounds like with 55,000 A's fans, and which could bring up a whole nother long topic of how many more Coliseum games we're going to have. But there's something special about this building, and it's something that I'll cherish. And now my kids get to remember it, and I'm super proud of that. And I couldn't be more proud to be an Oakland A. And no matter what happens in the future, no matter what the next few weeks or years hold, I will always be green and gold. And I will always, every time I come back here, I can't wait to see everybody.
You've always been great to us.
Appreciate it.
The great Stephen Vogt right here on A's Cast Live.